For starters, look around you. I want you to be honest. The beautiful, chaotic fire you once had, is it still burning? Or are you staring at a pile of cold, pathetic ashes in the fireplace? Most people think love fades. They think it's just the natural evolution of a relationship. Bullshit. Love doesn't fade like a pair of cheap jeans. Love dies because we starve it, we neglect it, and sometimes we violently murder it with our own sloppy behavior. We're not here for relationship cliches. We're here for the dark psychological truth about why the spark, the intoxicating, destabilizing, essential spark vanishes. This isn't just about saving your relationship. It's about saving your soul from the crushing mediocrity of a partnership that is scientifically, psychologically, and fundamentally dead. Today, we dive deep into the autopsy of lost love. We'll cover the psychological killers, the step by step blueprints for reviving that flame, baby. And if the absolute worst happens, how to walk away and transform yourself into the prize she or he can't forget. So, what is the autopsy of attraction? Why does love die? Why does it explode? Why does it fade? Well, we need to understand the science of the kill, right? Love doesn't just run out of gas. It's assassinated by predictable, observable, psychological phenomenon, my dudes. Look, fire starters, there are three psychological killers in any relationship. This is where the magic and the tragedy happens. Lost attraction is typically traced back to the destruction of one or more of these core psychological needs. You ready? Autonomy, competence, and relatedness. The ACR, baby. The autonomy killer? When you stop leading your own life, you stop leading the relationship. You remove all emotional distance and become predictable resource. You're not a challenging prize anymore, my guys. You have become complacent. You have become lazy. And this destroys psychological reactance, which is the pull away response, right? I mean, look, it's necessary to maintain intrigue. Give it some scarcity. Pull away. The moment a man sacrifices his core mission for comfort, he trades his attraction for safety. And safety, fire starters, safety is where desire goes to suffocate if you're a man. Guys, the competence killer, the status quo, and comfort, right? We'll call this the slow death. When you stop growing as a man, when you stop growing as an ethically masculine man, when you stop challenging yourself, when you stop increasing that value, well, your partner's evolutionary respect begins to decay. It's hypergamy in action. You can't just sit back and chill once you've got the lady, right? No, 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 no. Predictability and lack of risk taking signal low status, low resourcefulness. And the eminently feminine woman is naturally drawn to a man who provides both safety for her and excitement. It's got to be the two scales balance, my dude, right? When the when the excitement dies because he's lost his edge, right? What's going to happen? Well, she's going to start seeing that energy elsewhere. She might start looking for that energy elsewhere, right? She doesn't feel valued anymore. And guys, the third killer, the relatedness killer, right? This one goes, you're done, right? If there's any kind of communication or conflict avoidance, right? Bye bye relationship. You replace genuine intimacy, the kind that requires vulnerability, emotional courage, things like that, with comfortable silence and routine. Everything's just so peachy now. Where's the passion? Where's that vulnerability and courage that you used to have? When you avoid conflict and passion, passion dies. The four horsemen of the apocalypse, right? Criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling. These are all the predictable assassins of that love. Look, contempt is just the acid that dissolves it later. How do we fix this, boys? How does the high value man view love? Before we fix it, we've got to understand how the highest value people view love itself. And this is the bedrock of my philosophy, baby, the ethical masculine man's view of love. He sees love not as an oxygen tank. She ain't your oxygen, baby. Love is your force multiplier. Your purpose, his purpose in life, it's his mission. And his relationship is a powerful, supportive sanctuary where he and his partner grow together. Invite her into your mission. Look, your love needs to be a place where it's structured and intentional, right? The purpose is to elevate both partners toward their action, not a feeling. His love isn't structured, it's intentional. Its purpose is to elevate both partners toward their highest potential. Love is a choice, it is an action, not a feeling. Look, he maintains his autonomy because he knows she is not his oxygen tank, right? But she can still be in his life and a valuable part of it. That's sexy, man. The eminently feminine woman's view of love, she views love as a deep relational security that allows her to fully experience her own emotional depth and her creativity, right? She wants man's strength and leadership, not control. And not because she's weak, but because she is strong enough to trust his competence. Her purpose in love is to bring warmth, emotional intelligence, to celebrate the mission. It's a subtle dance of interrelated beauty, right? She knows that his leadership isn't controlling, right? It's about safety and protection. It's a sign of competence and commitment to the relationship. And guys, when love dies, it's because one or both partners defaulted to a low value philosophy. Love as a crutch, love as a comfort, love as a substitute for a personal mission. We refuse to live there. Our mission is paramount. We are sovereign. Our partner is a beautiful addition to our lives, someone that we can share these things with fully, equally, right? In our own beautiful roles. Whether the fire is barely a flicker or a cold mess, you've got to have a plan if you want to repair this damage, right? I mean, look, phase A, I guess, right? The prevention manual. How do you keep the fire lit? These are going to be the daily habits of the ethically masculine and eminently feminine partners. Number one, the 70-30 listening rule, right? Relatedness. You have got to be fully present 70% of the time. You are listening. Respond with active, constructive responding, right? When your partner shares good news, right? You don't just throw it away. Oh, that's nice, right? You don't say, that's nice. You say, that is incredible. Tell me exactly how you made that happen, right? I am so proud of the way you handle things, right? Guys, this builds relatedness. This builds and it shows competence, right? Number two, The intentional friction rule, autonomy and excitement at its best. You have got to be less available, even to your partner. Not rude, just purposeful. Schedule solo dates for yourself at least twice a week. You have got to guard your autonomy. You don't do this, your relationship is going to die. You will suffocate each other. Right. Number three, the escalation calendar. I love this one. Competence and relatedness, right? Consciously increase non sexual, intentional touch, a lingering hand on the back, right? A playful squeeze, a little tickle, unless she hates tickles. The idea is to reintroduce those flirt cues that you used in the beginning, my guys. Relationships are supposed to be fun. You're with the person that you are with for the rest of your life. Keep it hot. Keep it spicy, baby. Phase B, the intervention protocol, right? The date blueprint, if you will. Let's reignite that flame because the fire is out, fire starters, and we need to start that fire. The partner is distant, right? You're desperate. I mean, this is terrible times here, right? And I want you to just stop. Desperation is the cheapest cologne you can ever wear. We need surgical precision, baby. The ACR. So there's a core reset, right? The leadership injection, if you will. And it shows autonomy and competence. And what the strategy is here is you pull back 100% of your emotional energy and you invest it right back into yourself. Lock down your fitness. Hit the gym, baby. Work on your career, your financial goals, your hobbies. This creates the vacuum, right? The psychological reactance trigger. It makes them wonder why you're suddenly so calm, why you're suddenly so busy, why you're suddenly so unbothered by all the little tests. Ethically masculine action, right? Make decision, guys. Stop asking, what do you want to do? Start saying, we're going to this new restaurant Saturday. I got the reservations. It's going to be great. Can't wait to spend it with my baby doll, right? This shows strength, intentionality. Be a leader. Quit being a simp. Dude, wake up. The high value date blueprint, right? Novelty plus intrigue. The strategy, you got to break the comfort zone routine. Your dates create novel experiences and gentle adrenaline spikes, my dudes. Come on. The brain associates you and the relationship with those dates. If you have some fun and some play, right? You get in there and you're just like your kids again, right? You're like your teens dating again, or maybe you are teens dating and the relationship's dying. Have some fun again, right? Associate play with the relationship, and all of a sudden it seems better. So, what are some practical date ideas for reignition? The challenge date, right? Here's a typical one that all the nerds on, Hinge do, the axe throwing. Look, I ain't gonna go throw axes, but that might be your bag, right? I know someone that did it and they liked it. Indoor rock climbing, right? Spontaneous, slightly difficult hikes. Look, create some perceived competence, shared excitement. I don't know. Take her to Six Flags, walk around, hit the freaking roller coasters, get the adrenaline pumping, right? Or you can do a culture date. Go to a museum, baby. An art gallery opening, a lecture about a topic you know nothing about, but you're all of a sudden really interested in. Or you're actually interested in, which would be better because that shows mission building, baby. Look, you're showing that your life is more than just Netflix and chill, which can be fun, let's be honest, especially the chill part, baby. It signals you have some depth, right? Some status depth. You could do the intentional solo date. This is kind of a strange one, but you take them to the coffee shop, right? But instead of talking about logistics, you only discuss visions, passions, dreams, not any of this, how was your day crap, right? No, just what is the biggest thing you want to accomplish in the next 6 months? Focus on relatedness, right? To a shared future, not just logistics. Get them thinking big and make sure you're in the picture because that is your little chica or your little duda. Duda? what an ethical masculine man actually says, right? Words matter, guys. Fire starters, words actually matter. The tone, the context, the confidence behind them, right? This is everything. What's wrong with you guys? You're not robots. Come on. If you're struggling with the transition from supporter to leader, I've got the actual scripts that you can use, my dudes. Come on, no? All right. So here's one, right? Purpose scheduling. Instead of saying something like, what do you want to do this weekend? I'm free whenever. You say something like, I'm free Wednesday at 6 for coffee, or Saturday afternoon, which works better for you, right? I mean, it shows autonomy and it shows competence. It shows that you're taking the lead. It shows that you respect her time, but it also sets a clear boundary, right? You're setting the times. If she tests you, she cancels last minute, right? You don't say, no problem. We can reschedule, I guess. Let me know. Low energy and boring. You just say something like, got it. Hey, look, I've already committed to something else that night, so let me know when you confirmed your next availability, right? This shows autonomy. You're holding your frame. Your time is valuable and you have other commitments, right? You've got mission. There's also flirting and teasing, right? Instead of saying something like, you're so pretty, this is vague, it's needy. You say something like, you are an absolute disaster in the best way possible. I like that about you. Competence, relatedness. It's a light tease, right? It shows confidence. It focuses on her essence, her aura, if you will, right? Gen Z, not just her looks, right? It shows value. If you want to show someone some value, right? You don't say, I spent all day thinking about you. Clingy. You say something like, I just finished closing out a big project and it made me realize how much I enjoy the calmness of our time together. Let's get together. Autonomy, competence, focuses on the mission first. Then it relates her presence to your high value state, right? Aligned to end the night. Instead of saying something like, I wish I could stay all night, but I have to go to work tomorrow, right? No. You do this instead, right? After a nice, warm, intentional touch, like maybe a little lingering eye contact, you go ahead and say something like, I'm gonna go ahead and leave now. I'll talk to you later. It's autonomy, right? Clear, confident exit. Creates space, creates intrigue. It's beautiful. Look, guys, if you get to this last little part here, the absolute end to the relationship, right? The only thing that you can do is to save yourself, and that is now your mission. Not to get her back, not to get him back. Desperation is the cheapest cologne you wear. Look, refer back to my previous episodes on no contact. It is your lifeboat. It is not a strategy for manipulation, right? What do? You have got to go completely cold turkey, right? Zero breadcrumbs. You're giving them the ultimate gift. You're giving them the space to feel the consequences of their choice. Do not accept pathetic breadcrumbs, the WYD text, the what you doing right now. If they send a one-word text, they get nothing back. If they send emojis, they get nothing back. They get nothing back. You've got to make a hyper-focus pivot, right? Use the pain and emotional energy you feel right now and you channel it into step 3 of the ethical masculinity action plan. You show independence and mission before reaction. Your pain is now your jet fuel. You start a new relationship with yourself, right? Upgrade your life. Signals matter way more than words. The only to win a breakup is to make her or him look back and realize they lost the single most valuable thing in their life, a mature, self-actualized partner who respects their own worth and is always on their mission to grow. That's it. Guys, relationships aside, this is just the blueprint for how to live your life. Fire starters, we have done the autopsy. We did the intervention, the emergency protocol, if you will, right? And we gave you the exact scripts that you can use. This isn't just theory. This is the truth. It's backed by psychology, it's backed by science, but it requires courage. It requires you to step into your full, ethically masculine power. Are you ready to stop being a supporter and start being a leader? Are you ready to use the intentional friction rule to create intrigue? Are you ready to implement the high values date blueprint? Because if you're not, but if you want to, if you want the full, uncensored, step by step scripts for holding frame, if you want the precise formula for building competence so that you are a man that women must respect, if you want the entire blueprint for attracting the eminently feminine woman who rewards your leadership and vision, you know where to go. These strategies, autonomy, competence, relatedness, they're the pillars of lasting attraction. And the only place to get the full manual for a life where love thrives, not just survives, is in my digital blueprints, my playbooks. These manuals are the only way to get the full detailed blueprint to save your love and, more importantly, save your self respect. Go get the manuals. Go become the fire. You'll love them. I'm really proud of these guys. I think you're really going to enjoy them. Like this video, subscribe to Plant the Spark, and comment below. I will not starve the fire. Now go be a fighter starter. Save that relationship or start one, baby. Peace.